has interviewed the most Carolina Panther players one-on-one that doesn't work for the organization. Yeah, it's me. I'm Chris Jenkins. I'm with Charlotte Vibe, and I invite you to subscribe to my YouTube channel where each and every week I interview players one-on-one. And the cool thing about it is I always say I work for the fans. So I always take questions from you guys, ideas from you all, and I put that into my interviews with these players every week. And something very fun at the end of the interview is I do an activity like Office Olympics, just something really fun. And I don't always win, but that's not the point. Just so you guys can get the chance to see these players as people, not just as guys with helmets on running around on Sundays. It's really cool. So if I have your interest, please click subscribe to my YouTube channel and let me know what you think. All right, let's play a little Carolina Panthers trivia. Tell me what person has interviewed the most Carolina Panther players one-on-one that doesn't work for the organization. Yeah, it's me. I'm Chris Jenkins. I'm with Charlotte. And my audio wasn't working, so now my audio's working. So let me start over again. Chris Jenkins, and just before I begin and get too further into it, I want to say thank everybody that tunes in every single week, every single day. You know, we got a lot of stuff. The kinks worked out in the productions where I'm doing this from the home studio. Got some graphic improvements coming, lots of things just as I go to cover these Carolina Panthers in this COVID situation where it looks like I will not have, just like no other media will have direct access to the players, but can continue to do things to keep you informed, keep you interacting with the players, and hopefully we'll continue to have some fun and grow. So quick note, if you're watching on Facebook or Twitter, I always invite you to go over to YouTube if you want to interact, because I love to interact. Man of the people, I work for you guys. You guys pay for the things that it takes to run this. So whatever questions you have, let me know. And let me go ahead and get into it now. So Chris Jenkins, sorry, I got distracted by some alerts and actors just came out. We're gonna say that for the flow of the show. But Chris Jenkins, credentialed member of the media for Charlotte Vibe, covering the Carolina Panthers. And today is game day. Carolina Panthers are taking on the Atlanta Falcons. This is my first time not being in the stadium in Atlanta for a game. I think I don't know how many years in a row that I've been down there. And I love that stadium. You know, forget the team, it's a really, really nice stadium. And so I miss being down there. But we take on the Atlanta Falcons today, and strangely enough, we're an underdog. Now, that underdog, and I'm not a sports bettor, but I know that has decreased from when it first came out. Let's say they were, I don't know, a 4-point underdog, and they're down to a 1-point underdog. But they are still an underdog. So, yeah, that's crazy. So let me go ahead and give a few shout-outs. Tommy Walker is on right now. What's going on, Tommy? Hey, thanks for all I do. Thanks for tuning in. And again, I got some new graphics coming this week. They're almost done. Wanted to show them you guys today, but you know, I got to get stuff right. Look for some new graphics next week, and look for some players to start coming back on the show. You know, I'm starting to hear back from some guys, so that should be happening pretty soon as well. Joey, man, I can say your name in my head, Joey, but when it comes to my mouth, it goes, Joey Riolano. I don't know. Joey, what's going on? So yes, like the video. Easiest way to show some support of the channel is to like the video. That helps other Carolina Panthers fans find out about my channel and get some good content. But hey, again, I'm run completely by the fans. The only media that does that. So super chats are welcome. The store, the online store for you guys to support that way. That store is coming back online by next week as well. We got the Victory Monday shirts, which you know I don't have, but maybe I'll wear it. You know, here's what I'll do. I'll wear the Victory Monday shirt in the post-game show after we win today versus the Atlanta Falcons. Donta Bell, big fan, appreciate you. So let's go ahead and get into it. So, you know, my pregame show, something that I'm doing new this year, and it's meant to give you a lot of interesting facts as you prepare to watch today's game. And certainly any questions that you guys may have about the team, the players, the matchup, let me know. If not, then just join me after the game, and we'll talk about what you guys have to talk about. So Normally, I start with the transactions that have happened recently this week, and no transactions to speak of, so I don't have anything to show there. But let's go ahead and talk about the matchup this week. The Carolina Panthers are 2-2. They have an opportunity to go above 500 for the first time. Whew, for the first time, what feels like a very long time, if they were able to be victorious over the Atlanta Falcons. But they did win last week, 31-21 over the Arizona Cardinals. And Atlanta Falcons are 0-4, lost last week to Green Bay. I believe that was a Monday night game, but they lost to Green Bay 16-30. So we're coming off 2 wins in a row. Atlanta Falcons are coming off 4 losses in a row, but we're still underdogs. That's just strange. So I know Dante talked about rivalry week. I can't talk this morning. The rivalry week, and during the week there were a lot of questions asked from the media to the players about this being a rivalry, and most of them just said they just go out there to win every game. They feel like the fans call it rivalry, and it's great for fans. They don't, not knocking that, but they just said as players. And I feel like especially under Coach Matt Rule, these guys think just 1-0. I'm just trying to play 1-0. Just trying to go 1-0. I don't care who we're playing. I don't care what the history is. I'm just trying to go 1-0, do my job, and get better. So I think for his fans who like this as rivalry, I can't talk this morning, rivalry week, that this will be a good game. And I feel like we can have 3 in a row. That's how I feel. I feel like we can have 3 in a row. We haven't beaten the Falcons since 2014. Yeah, I talked earlier in the week on how it seemed like for a long time, I guess prior to that 2014, we had their number and we were going down there winning last game of the season. Because, we used to play Atlanta pretty much the last game of the season for several years. And it was always a significant division game that meant something for us, whether it was clinching a division, whether it was clinching home field advantage for the playoffs. Because, we won the NFC South 3 years in a row back then. It was great. But those memories are distant memories right now. All right, so let's go ahead and get into these facts. You guys continue to leave your comments, and once I get through all the little interesting facts and things that I feel like are cool to look out for today, then we'll get back on here and answer some of these questions. Yes, game day. We're gonna break the ATL curse today. Hey, so if we break the curse today and I don't go to the game, does that mean that I should stop going to the Atlanta games in the future? Even if you say yes, I won't go for that. All right, let's go. And my voice, whenever I get on this video, I get too excited. My voice gets crazy, so I'm going to lower the voice so I can keep it up through this whole video. So let's go ahead and go through some of the interesting things that I have for you guys for today's game. All right, so this Carolina Panthers team has been improving and has been improving quite a bit. All right, sorry for the pause there. Just want to make sure that the graphics were correct. Just how much is this team improving? I want to share this with you guys. The reason why, if you don't have hope, if you're not believing in Matt Rule, that you should continue to have hope and continue to believe in Coach Matt Rule. Last week against the Arizona Cardinals, this team improved in all of these areas that they have listed here. The highest point total of the season happened last week, 31. The highest yardage of the season happened last week with 444. Rushing yards with 168 behind the combination of Reggie Bonifant and Mike Davis. First downs, we had 28. Red zone touchdown percentage, we had 80%. So this team, and I got some more of the stuff I'm going to go over through with you all, but last week's improvement, especially on the offensive side, was, I can't even say especially because the defense did pretty good too. So anyway, let me continue to go through these with you all. Teddy Bridgewater, overall, third completion percentage in the NFL at 73%, and sixth in passing yards with 1,147 yards. And my man, where is the bear? What is that bear doing? Robbie Anderson, who shops at Target. You guys see that? I'm trying to get Robbie Anderson on this show. I'm going to really try hard. It's difficult because I've never been in a locker room to meet him personally, so I'm just going to have to try to hit him up and use some connections. But you guys helped me get Robbie Anderson on the show, and I bet you it'll be one of my best shows ever because that guy's just he just seems funny and different and cool. But yeah, you got to love the progression of this team. And some people were upset about Cam Newton leaving and doing good in New England. I know he has a COVID situation right now, but outside of that, he's been doing pretty good in New England. And it was like, well, why did we let him go? Like, what are we going to do? We should have kept him. They let Teddy Bridgewater is being a great, great replacement and starting quarterback. Players talk about his leadership. I know we had Taylor Moton on this week, Media Access, and he was asked to describe in more words the leadership that Teddy Bridgewater has that a lot of people talk about. And he was like, I just don't know how to put it into words other than he just has it. And I don't know what this, I think it's a fancy word for that. Something quiet, I don't know, that when people have something that you can't just describe it, but you know they possess it. Teddy Bridgewater definitely seems to have it with his players. And I think a lot of that comes from, at least on that offensive lineman, he goes and spends time in their offensive lineman meetings. And that impresses guys when you're invested that much into making sure that they're taken care of and knowing what they're doing, that you go to their training, their meeting rooms, and you figure out what they're doing. So nevertheless, let me keep going because I got a lot of good stuff for you guys this morning. Teddy is steady. Robbie is balling. Yeah, we're doing good. We're doing pretty good. Let me go through some more facts for you all that I have here. Boom, number 2. All right, so, I talked about Robbie Anderson. And every time I talk about Robbie Anderson, I say, DJ Moore is not slacking. He's been outplayed by Robbie Anderson, but DJ Moore is still doing a darn good job. Did you know that DJ Moore ranks 3rd in the NFL with 16 yards per catch average? That's good. That's good. He's doing good. So let's also go over to the defensive side. Because I always open up with the offensive side. Defense, did you know Shaq Thompson, the only player in the NFL with 25 plus tackles, 1 forced fumble, and 1 fumble recovery? So Shaq Thompson, and his role as the leader of the defense, he's first year wearing the helmet with the green dot, that he's able to communicate. You look at him and you kind of go to be nitpicky sometimes. And I know last week I saw him not take the best angle on just a tackle or two. And it's like, hey, come on, Shaq. But, Shaq overall is still, he's a leader of this secondary, defense, I should say, and doing a pretty good job. I got another guy I want to talk about, I want to hear you all's comments about as well as I get into this. But Shaq Thompson is definitely doing a good job. In his first year without Luke Kuechly, and I guess his second, maybe third year without Thomas Davis, who I clearly remember had the pleasure of announcing Shaq Thompson as a draft pick, and that was kind of strange back then. But nevertheless, let's go ahead and finish a few more of these stats for you guys. Rookie Jeremy Chin leads the Panthers. All right, so there's a typo here. You guys love me, right? Don't talk about this typo, but rookie Jeremy Chin leads the Panthers with 34 tackles, misspelling. That is the 12th most by any player in the NFL, and that is the most for any rookie. So Jeremy Chin is doing a darn good job and being a rookie, one of 6 or 7 rookies on this defense from that draft that are not only here but making an impact and doing pretty good. So shouts out to Jeremy Chin. I got another stat here that I'm not sure what it's about. So let me try to peek at this real quick before I show it to you guys. Okay. What is this? And then I have one more that I don't have a graphic for you guys to show, but that graphic is Robbie Anderson. It's early. So I'm definitely going to keep this into perspective. But Robbie Anderson is currently really balling out with his receptions. He's on pace to have 112 receptions for the season. Now, it's super early. We're just a quarter of the way through it. I think you don't have significance on these something like this until at least halfway, 3/4 through the season. But he's on pace to have 112 receptions. Steve Smith currently has the record for the Carolina Panthers at 103. So that's something pretty cool to watch out for and cheer for. I like to cheer for everybody's success. So shouts out to Robbie Anderson for being on pace to do that. All right, we got a few more things that I want to go over with you guys. Again, this show is just about some interesting things to look out for and be aware of as you prepare to watch this Falcons matchup. And it's an interactive thing, so you got a question about today's game, please, that's what I'm here for every week. This pregame show will take place at 11:30 Eastern Time if it's a 1 o'clock game, which I think we only have one primetime game, which is against the Falcons. But nevertheless, if you subscribe, set the notifications, you'll know when these are coming. All right, so let's go with the current top 10 rankings that we have for the team. Again, showing you progression. Last week, we only had one overall ranking that was top 10 in the NFL. But, we had a pretty good game against the Arizona Cardinals, so we do have some more top 10 rankings that we are going to share. And here we go. All right, so we have moved up current top 10 NFL rankings for the Carolina Panthers. We currently rank 6th in the NFL in passing net yards per game. We currently rank 7th in third down efficiency. Again, keep in mind, we only had one of these last week. And we also rank 5th in yards after the catch. 5th. Those are some pretty good stats. 5th. So I mean, this is live, but I know it's a little delay, so I don't know if I can really wait for you guys to respond. But I want you to tell me who you think is leading the fact that we have 5th in yards after the catch. Give me two guys that you think are making that stat possible. And that's a good thing because that shows hustle, that shows grit, that shows guys that catch the ball, and they're not just looking to catch the ball and, okay, I made a completion. They're looking to catch the ball and then make a play after they catch the ball. And you cannot see me right now, so sorry about that. But I'm going to give you another few seconds to see if we got any guesses on that for the people who lead us for yards after the catch. So obviously Robbie Anderson is going to be one of those guys. But surprising, number two yards after the catch, because remember DJ Moore was average yards per catch. Yards after the catch is led by Robbie Anderson and Mike Davis, running back. So when Christian McCaffrey went down, I said that, yes, it's impactful. He is an incredible generational talent, as they say. He is incredible, but I feel like we have some good pieces where we will not be just up a creek without a paddle kind of deal with Christian McCaffrey going down. And Mike Davis is certainly saying, hey, if I'm not with this team next year, I could be with another team because I'm pretty good. But Mike Davis and Robbie Anderson's leading us there. And then let's go on the defensive side. Got some stats for you. Hold on a second. I'm messing up for you guys. All right, so these are some defensive stats that we have right here. They are top 10 NFL rankings. And I need to put a better title up there. I'm sorry about that, but I'll make sure that I have a better title up there for you all next week. 10th in total yards per game. So this is a huge improvement for the defense because we have not had, I think only one time this season, and it's early, that we had top 10 defensive rankings. And then last week we didn't have any. And now we're back in the top 10 on 2 categories. So again, progression, improvement. Those are things that you want to see whether this team is winning or losing, and we're getting it there. So anyway, 10th in total yards per game. This is on the defensive side. And 7th in passing net yards per game. That, again, is on the defensive side. All right, then each week I talk about notable connections, and typically it's easy to have a lot of notable connections when you're playing a team that's just right down the road, but actually we don't have any. I could dig pretty deep and find some, but I don't think you guys would care about like assistant coaches that lived in Georgia when they were growing up. So no notable connections today between the Atlanta Falcons and the Carolina Panthers on either side of the ball, So let's see, I got one other thing here, but no, I don't. So that's it for that part. And you guys like my little graphic? Chris Jenkins, that's all about. That graphic, by the way, is going to get even better. Trust me. Stay tuned. Continue to talk to me. Continue to interact. We got some good stuff coming up. Tommy Walker, man, I appreciate your comments. You got a lot of stuff to talk about. And I'm about to get to you here in just a second. So let me go over the inactive list for today, because I know that has come out. So give me just a second to bring that on the screen for you guys. We'll go through this inactive list. And then I got a few things that I want to talk about that I'm going to be looking forward to in today's game. And if you all have any, I would love to hear them as well. All right. We're about to get this up on the screen here in just a second. Gotten so much better at doing all this and not messing up, right? Give me a thumbs up if you haven't already, because I am one man working all these graphics and things on the screen, and I feel like I'm not doing too bad at it. All right, so the inactives have come out for today's game. That looks a little strange there. Give me a second. There we go. Inactives for today. These are the Carolina Panthers inactives. So Teddy Bridgewater is going to be backed up by Will Grier, who pretty much has backed him up all but I think one game. P.J. Walker has been inactive. So that kind of says that Will Grier is looking to be the number 2 quarterback here for the season, at least in my opinion. So quarterback P.J. Walker is inactive. Eli Apple is inactive, which is no surprise as he had the injury. Stanley Thomas Oliver, cornerback, is inactive. Dennis Daly, inactive. And these guys have really been the leading inactives all season. And then guard Michael Schofield is going to be inactive. And then I don't have it listed here on the screen, but wide receiver Julio Jones, questionable, was going to be a last-minute decision. Julio Jones is inactive for today's game. So maybe that helps a little bit, but even with the struggles of Julio Jones being on the field, both teams have some similarities except for the records. Both teams have offenses that are doing really, really solid this year in the NFL. The Panthers defense, I would say, is on the rise because we got a young unit. But both offenses can put up a lot of points. And Matt Ryan, even though Julio Jones has been out, Matt Ryan has been connecting with Calvin Ridley a lot. And they're putting up some points on that side. So I don't think Julio Jones being out is significant. I think it could be a little help, but it's they're still going to have to play the game here in about an hour. So that is the inactives for today. Stopping Calvin Ridley, like I said, is a challenge. Robbie Anderson, I think, is 6th in the league in yards, and Calvin Ridley is currently 7th. So a phenomenal talent there with Calvin Ridley in the absence of Julio Jones. All right, so a few things that I'm going to be looking for today as I watch this game. Give you guys, again, a few more minutes if you have any questions and things that you want to chat with me about. I am the self-proclaimed man of the people, and I want to emphasize and continue to say that because I am the only news outlet that focuses on working directly for the fans, meaning you send me emails, you send me chats, leave me comments, you tell me what player you want me to talk to, what coach you want me to talk to, and I will get that information instead of just telling you guys what I think I want you to hear. Certainly will share my comments, but love to just work for you guys and get some direction on what you all want to hear and talk about. So 2 things. One on the offensive side, all right, for today. Ian Thomas. I would like to see some results from Ian Thomas. Ian Thomas had a lot of potential that I saw last year, and I don't feel like it's come out yet, and I'm not sure why it's not come out. but I really felt like Ian Thomas would be at a much further along point as a receiving tight end than he is. At this moment, Ian Thomas has 5 receptions for 30 yards. He's averaging 6 yards a carry, has 1 TD, and 9 targets. Only 30 yards, and it's week 4. So that's an average of 30 by 864. It's about an 8-yard average. So, you know, so Ian Thomas, I'm not going to take up all the morning show talking about that, but I want to see more out of you, Ian Thomas, on the offensive side. On the defensive side, I give you guys take a guess. Tell me who you'd like to see improve today on the defensive side. Chin, Defensive Rookie of the Year possibility? Absolutely. Absolutely, because right now it's only 4 games in, right? He's leading in tackles. I forget the rest of his stats. Let me see if I can bring him up real quick. He's leading the team in tackles. He has a tackle for a loss. He has a quarterback hit. You know, he just needs to give him a sack, give him an interception, which he has plenty of time to get that into his repertoire. But if he maintains his tackle leading that he's doing, and he starts to get some of those things that are exciting to see on the stat sheet, such as those quarterback sacks or interceptions, fumble recovery for 6 points, and then I think he can certainly elevate himself into that conversation with the Defensive Rookie of the Year. And I forget what I was doing with you guys. Oh, I was talking about on the defensive side and seeing if you guys had something that you want to see. What's up, Tommy Walker? Appreciate the shout outs. All right, so for me on the defensive side, I want to see Tahir Whitehead step up. That's what I want to see on the defensive side. That Tahir has improved and that he's no longer getting pass interference calls, and you're just not hearing his name at all. And so on that linebacking core, it's led by tackles in Jeremy Chin, and then you got Shaq Thompson, and then you got Tahir Whitehead. And it goes 34 tackles for Jeremy, 33 for Shaq, 23 for Tahir. So Trey Boston is nipping on the heels of Tahir. And Tahir doesn't have any tackles for a loss. Jeremy Chin has 1. Shaq Thompson has 2. He doesn't have any pass deflections. That means he's not getting in the lanes, being disruptive there. Shaq Thompson has 2. He has 0 quarterback hits. Now, you know, maybe you could say he's not being sent on blitzes. Okay, if he's not being sent, that means he's not fast enough, which could say why he's getting the pass interference calls that he was getting early in the season. So I'm not going to just break down every single stat here, but I'm just going to say that overall, I'd like to see just a little bit more from Tahir Whitehead today in this game. I feel like he's due to show us something a little bit flashy and get us excited about him. So that's all that I have for you guys today. I always appreciate you tuning in. Super chats are welcome ways to contribute to this channel. I depend 100% on donations, super chats, contributions from my fans to keep this channel going. So anytime you have an opportunity to do so, whether it's 50 cents, whether it's $1, whatever it may be, supporting the shop that's coming out, please do so, because I absolutely love being an independent media, covering the Carolina Panthers and working for you guys, and love everybody to stay with me this whole time watching the show. Let me see if there's some comments that I missed before I get off of here. Yanel said yes. I think she was happy that the offensive line has been improving, and they have, a lot better than last year. Alex Schmidt, we covered your question. Bridgewater likes his wideouts, I guess. You can say Bridgewater likes his wideouts, but I do remember a comment in which they were talking about how Bridgewater was trying to work with Manhurts and increasing his confidence and catching routes. So I think Bridgewater wants to get it to anybody, whoever's available. So continuing on, Derek Brown. Yeah, Derek Brown, I didn't talk much about him today, but he has certainly been a standout person on the defensive side big man in the middle. Alton Moore, what's going on? Chris Johnson, better late than never. So that's it. Hey, again, I will be on live after the game, but it takes a little bit of time. Why? Because we have to talk to the players, we have to talk to the coaches, and have to get some stats together. So just look for that alert to come out, and I'd love for you all to start the tradition of joining me after the game for some live chat about the victory of the over the Atlanta Falcons by the Carolina Panthers. So hit the like button, as Tommy Walker said, hit the share button, subscribe, whatever you can do to support. I appreciate it, and I'll talk to you guys